guys, welcome back to Scrubbing with E, where I'll be talking about everything pre-med, lifestyle, and beauty. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment on my video. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you guys everything you have to know about the AAMC application process. So, the application opens on Monday, May 4th. So this video, I'm just going to briefly talk about the process, the deadlines, the dates, everything you have to know. Whether you're applying this cycle or whether you're applying the next, few years, next year, whatever it is, this video should be helpful, so stay tuned. So first thing I want to talk about is the application process and kind of like the timing of it for those of you who do not know. So you apply to medical school the spring before the fall that you would enter medical school. So for example, the application opens Monday, May 4th, meaning you'd start medical school fall 2021. So the application process takes an entire year. So this year, the American Association of Medical Colleges, also known as AAMC, their application opens Monday, May 4th. For DO schools, which is osteopathic medicine, their application opens Tuesday, May 5th. Because I'm a little bit more familiar with the AAMC process, I'm going to be speaking more so about that in this video, but of course there's general information that's going to apply to both DO and MD schools. First thing first, let's talk about dates. So again, like I said, the application opens May 4th. What does this mean? This means that on Monday, May 4th, you can go into the AMCAS website, basically start your application. This means that you're going to be able to start filling your information out. So sections 1 through 3 is kind of like your background information and all your demographics. So you can start filling those things out. So it's like your name, your address, your father's name, your great-grandma's name. No, I'm kidding. But it's a lot of information. So definitely you want to start filling that out on Monday, May 4th. Also, section 4 of the application is the coursework section. And this takes forever. You literally have to go in, put in every single course that you've taken in your undergrad career, how many credits it was, the name of the class, what your grade was, where you sat. No, I'm kidding. It's a lot of work, guys. So for example, if you went to multiple schools, let's say you went to a community college and then you transferred, any transcript that you're going to be submitting, you need to fill in all those courses. And you want to make sure that you're doing it very accurately and you want it to match perfectly to the transcripts. So again, it takes a lot of work. So again, Monday, May 4th, you guys should start filling those things out because it takes a while. So for example, when I applied, I did all my background information in like two to 3 days. And then maybe like in a week, I used to just like fill in like maybe like 7 courses a day because it is a lot of work and you want to make sure you don't make any mistakes. So that's definitely something that you can start doing on Monday, May 4th when the application opens. Okay, so the next date you have to know is May 28th. So May 28th is the earliest date that you can submit your application. That means that sections 1 through 3, which is your background information, those are done and accurate. Section 4, your coursework. Everything is in, you entered all your coursework and that's done and accurate. Your work and activities is done, your transcripts are in, and your personal statement is perfect and edited. So basically, your application is done and you are ready to submit it. The earliest date that this can happen is May 28th. So in terms of transcripts, guys, please keep in mind that everything might be a little bit delayed because of coronavirus. And if you know that your school is slow on doing these things, then definitely, as soon as the application opens on May 4th, start asking for those transcripts because you won't be able to submit your application for verification until those transcripts are in. So May 28th, that's the earliest day that you can press submit, but your transcripts and everything else have to be in. What doesn't have to be in are your letters of recommendation. Those can come in after. So you can still press submit if you're ready, even if your letters of recommendation aren't in. Now, after May 28th, or after you press submit, basically AAMC starts the verification process. And this is where they're gonna start double checking that all your coursework matches perfectly to your transcripts. So that's why I said make sure it's accurate, because if they find a mistake, they're gonna email you, they're gonna make you edit it, and that's just gonna delay things. So verification can take up to 6 weeks. So again, the earlier that you submit your application, the earlier it's gonna get verified, and the earlier that schools will get your application. I always recommend being an early applicant, because why not? Like, you'll be the first ones they read, and I think it's a little bit of an advantage. So that's something I did. I applied early. Also keep in mind, guys, that these are not deadlines. These are just the earliest that things can happen. So you don't have to submit by May 28th. You don't have to get everything in by May 28th. That's just the earliest that you can. So, I mean, try to hit that. But again, don't stress yourself out if you're not done by May 28th. So once AAMC verifies your application and the processing is done, then that's when they'll send it to whatever schools you added on your application. Okay, now let's talk about the medical schools real quick. So basically, to be able to submit your application, you need to add at least one school to the application. So what I did, for example, I didn't know what my AMCAS score was yet when the application opened, but I still wanted to be an early applicant. So I just added a school that I knew whatever score I got, I still wanted to go there. Like, I still wanted to apply there. So that's the only school I added, because I still wasn't sure what my AMCAS score was. So I still submitted my application with that one school. It got verified, everything was fine. And then once I got my AMCAS score back, I just added more schools. And once your application is verified, you don't have to get it verified every single time you add a medical school. So that's something else to keep in mind. Like, if you don't know what your stats are yet, try to submit it with just one safety school or like your dream school. And then after, once you get all your results and your transcripts maybe, and you know your GPA and you know your AMCAS score, then you have an idea of what schools to apply for, then you can just add them later. So because of coronavirus, AAMC is giving you guys extra time this year to actually gather all your information, your transcripts and stuff. So the earliest date that schools can get your application, meaning the earliest date that they're gonna finish the verification process, is gonna be July 10th. So basically that means that that one school you put on your application, or however many schools you put, that's the earliest date that they're actually gonna receive your application. So I know that was a lot, but let's just summarize. So again, application opens May 4th. This is the day you guys go in, you start your application, you start filling in all your demographics, and you start filling in your coursework. You start entering your work and activities. You start ordering your transcripts from your schools, every single undergrad school you went to, every single place you took classes in. And then you also put in your personal statement, which should be edited and perfected by now. That is May 4th. May 28th, if all of that is done, then you can send it to be verified. So you press submit. Remember, you have to have at least one school in your application. You press submit, it gets sent to AAMC, and they start the verification process. That can take up to 6 weeks. Then on July 10th, that's the first day that your schools will actually receive your application at their admissions office. So again, guys, these aren't deadlines. This is just the earliest that things can happen if you submit on May 28th. You can submit after May 28th. Don't worry, don't freak out because you're not ready. You can submit after May 28th. You'll just get verified later, and your schools would just get your application a little bit later. But it's not a big deal. You don't have to rush to submit on May 28th if you are not ready. And I recommend that. Do not just submit to submit. Please make sure that your application is perfect, because there's certain things, once you press submit, you can't go back and change it. So you have to make sure your personal statement is good. You have to make sure your work and activity sections are good, like all of that. So again, don't rush this process. Just know that these are the earliest days that these things can happen. Now, once your application is submitted, verified, you sent it to all your schools, right? That's when you're gonna start getting secondary applications. What are secondary applications? Basically, schools wanna know a little bit more about you. They all have their little specific essays that they want you to answer. So those are secondary applications. So I think before people used to say that you only get secondaries if like the school is really interested in you. I don't really believe that anymore. So as soon as I submitted my applications, I was getting all these secondaries, and I was like, wow, schools like me. Like, oh my God, I'm getting all these secondaries. It's a trap. Like, I sincerely believe it's a trap. I don't think schools actually screen. Maybe some do, but I don't think the schools I applied to screened my application before they sent me a secondary, because I got them so fast. I got them automatically. So just keep that in mind. I don't really know how that system works, but I got a secondary for every single school I applied for. So I don't think they screened me. But with saying that, I'm just letting you guys know that schools are going to send you secondary applications, and they are expensive. So you kind of want to figure out, you know, do I fill out the secondary or not? Just a note about letters of recommendation: even though they're not required to submit and to start verification, you still want to try to get them in early, because there's a lot of schools, they won't start looking at your application until the letters of recommendation are in. So even though they're not required, definitely that's something to start early as well, and make sure that you're already, you know, emailing your professors and whoever else to start, you know, submitting those, so that it's not going to delay your schools reading your application. So basically, once you submit your secondaries, you kind of just wait. You wait to get an interview offer. So like for me, I believe I was done with secondaries around September, and then after September, you're just really waiting to see if schools like you and want to offer you an interview. So that usually happens in the fall. And then by the spring of the following year, you would know what medical school you're going to, and you would start that fall. I hope this video helped you guys understand the application process a little bit more, you know what to expect and how to prepare for it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys soon.